Your Majesty, an unscheduled visitor.
What happened to him?
Take any damage?
Just shields. You?
Not a scratch. I'm seeing something on the scope.
Those mudscuffers bombed my home.
An ideology at odds with Bo-Katan's warrior upbringing. When Bo-Katan left Mandalore to join Death Watch, she wasn't just choosing a political faction, she was rejecting her sister's entire belief system. Their relationship was torn apart during the Clone Wars, especially during the Siege of Mandalore, when Bo-Katan sided with Death Watch and Satine with the Republic and Jedi. Tragically, after Maul seized control and Governor Gregar Typho, Satine's protector, betrayed her, Bo-Katan was forced into exile while Satine was captured and ultimately assassinated under Palpatine's orders. The brutal moment when Bo-Katan found her sister's body shattered her. Not only was Satine gone, but so was the Mandalore she could have shared with her. That loss haunted Bo-Katan through decades of hidden warfare. Yet that pain also shaked her. She refused to become a silent guardian of a dead planet. Instead, she honored Satine by forging her own path, but always carrying regret for what could have been. That emotional scar surfaces again when Mandalore is finally reclaimed. It was never just politics, it was personal. 2. Mutual honor, Ahsoka Tano and Bo-Katan. The partnership between Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano forms one of Mandalore's most unexpected alliances. It begins during the final days of the Clone Wars on Coruscant. Bo-Katan hands Maul the Darksaber. Later, after Maul seizes Mandalore, Bo-Katan links up with Ahsoka Tano, who leads clone forces to rescue the capital. They fight together in Sundari, infiltrating the palace and cornering Maul. Ahsoka's calm, principled Jedi sense contrasts sharply with Bo-Katan's fierce pragmatism. But despite their differences, they share a foundation of mutual respect. Bo-Katan admires Ahsoka's clarity and compassion, Ahsoka trusts Bo-Katan's unwavering loyalty to Mandalore. That bond resurfaces in Rebels, when Bo-Katan agrees to leave the Darksaber with Sabine Wren, not for personal power but in hope of unifying Mandalorian resistance. While they never fight side by side in The Mandalorian, the emotional link remains. Bo-Katan knows that Ahsoka will keep Grogu safe. Meanwhile, Jabba makes decisions informed by that alliance, like when Bo-Katan chooses not to pursue Gideon immediately, to avoid unnecessary bloodshed. These are not tactical hesitations, they are deeply moral ones, and they trace directly back to the Jedi she once trained with. 3. An unlikely bond, Din Djarin and Bo-Katan. Perhaps the most compelling relationship in the series is between Bo-Katan and Din Djarin. When they first met, Bo-Katan shocked Din by removing her helmet, an act he considered sacrilegious. But that discomfort sparked something deeper, a clash of the way versus pragmatic reality. Across season 2 and 3, the relationship evolves. Reluctant allies become allies of necessity, then allies of mutual respect, and finally, co-commanders. On Tython, Bo-Katan refuses to train Grogu, but still points Din to where he can find Ahsoka. On Mandalore, Din defends her in public, stating plainly, "She saved me from the person who defeated me. She deserves the Darksaber." That moment is a turning point. Bo-Katan may seem aloof, but she values honor above all else. During the siege, Din walks through collapsing corridors covered in mud, fire flickering across cracked walls, fighting dark troopers with Bo-Katan at his back. They exchange short, direct words. No emotional flourish, just tactical trust. Their bond isn't about romance or friendship. It's forged in steel and shared purpose. 4. The clans in the Forge. Mandalorian cultural revival Bo-Katan works tirelessly to unite Mandalore's fractured clans, the Orthodox Children of the Watch, the progressive Night Owls, scattered survivalists, and exiled outcasts. In Chapter 22, Guns for Hire, on the world Plazer 115, she challenges Axwoves, a former subordinate who has taken leadership after the Empire's retreat. She defeats him in ritual combat, but it's Din's public declaration that truly makes her the rightful wielder of the Darksaber. That scene, in a blaze-lit hangar, troopers whispering behind boxes, symbolized the unity of branches. Later, she recruits Koska Reeves and Paz Vizsla, each from their own factions. These characters represent unique Mandalorian identities. Nordish warriors, mercenaries, children indoctrinated into the Watch. Despite differences, they converge under Bo-Katan's banner. The culmination is the assault on Mandalore's Great Forge. The green glow of molten Beskar, echoing chants, the roar of jetpacks overhead. Mandalore is born again. Paz dies defending the fallback line, holding a makeshift Beskar cannon against stormtroopers. Bo-Katan kneels, pushes the forge's alchemical furnace lever flame sputter. The forge ignites. The planet's reclaiming begins with legacy, sacrifice, and the unity of clans. 5. Battles and key events. Scene by scene. Mandalore descent and Living Waters. Din swims through flooded tunnels. Ahsoka's silhouette faded on his mind. He nearly drowns. Bo-Katan pulls him free. In the depths, beneath cracked stone arches and submerged droid shells, she sees the Mythosaur massive, horned silhouette gliding in the dark. It shakes her conviction. Mandalore is still alive. So are its legends. Plazer 15 Duel and Darksaber Ceremony. Bo-Katan draws the Darksaber in twilight, the blades hum echoing off steel walls. Sparks arc over Mandalorian crests as she defeats Axe. Din steps in, declares her right in front of stunned onlookers. The Darksaber hums to her control. Its visual poetry clash of steel, acceptance of legacy, affirming a rightful ruler. Siege of the Great Forge troopers pour through steel gates. Dark troopers clank in Beskar armor. Bo-Katan rides in on a hovering skiff, drawing her blaster to clear choke points. Paz shouts final prayers before detonating an explosive, buying time for survivors. Bo-Katan runs, blood-streaked, directly into Moff Gideon's central chamber blades drawn, banter sharp. She fights with blades and fists, while Din sweeps in with explosions. Grogu uses force to shield them. Moff Gideon's armor collapses in on itself. He falls. Then the forge fires to life. Induction by the flame. In final quiet scenes, survivors gather around a crater filled with sacred water. Newborn Mandalorians, helmeted and unhelmeted, immerse themselves shoulder deep, while Bo-Katan, alongside the armorer and Din, stand witness. The holy waters glow blue. Grogu, floating, watches silently. Mandalore finally found its way home. 6. Conflict and moral complexity. Bo-Katan is far from perfect or one-dimensional. She abandoned Satine. She reluctantly accepted power. She once allied with Death Watch. Yet each choice comes with costs. Even when unified, her followers later doubt her, and peace on Mandalore remains fragile. Her belief in honor means she never steals power. When Din claims the Darksaber by defeating Gideon, she pushes back, refusing to take it off his neck. Yet when risk demands it, like under Imperial siege, she leads decisively. She sacrifices resources, trust, even life under siege, all for the larger cause. 7. Legacy and symbolism. Bo-Katan embodies the modern Mandalorian paradox: tradition versus adaptation, creed versus survival. She never denies her lineage, but she also proves Mandalorians can evolve. The child in the forge, the Mythosaur reborn, the great forge reignited. These aren't just metaphors, they're real, physical testaments to her legacy. In the words of the armorer, because you will, forever. Bo-Katan's legend lives. She gave Mandalore back its way through steel, sacrifice, unity, and most importantly, leadership earned by action, not birthright.